but that's not.
Hi guys, can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. I was talking, nobody heard me. Okay, sorry, it took a minute. I had to get the login information. But I'm here now.
Yay.
Yay. Okay. So I will go ahead and get started. I am Erica Gustavo. I live in Sacramento, California. And I've been with the company for a little bit over a year, and I am a diamond, working on my double diamond. I have faith it's going to happen soon. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of background, and we can do it. We can all do it. So that kind of flustered me a little bit. I was trying to get on, but we got it now. So let's get started. The first and foremost thing that I want to tell everybody is something that that I decided at the beginning was when I started to do this, was that I was going to do it and just made a pact with myself, you know, that I'm new, I'm going to learn, I'm going to make mistakes, and that's okay. And regardless of what mistakes I made or what roadblocks I encountered, that I was in it. I was not going to quit. I was going to give myself the amount of time that it took, whatever it took. And let me. I'm not sure how to block everybody, but yeah, if you guys just want to mute yourself, that way there's not a lot of background noise. Anyways, and that's just what I want to tell everybody, because we are going to make mistakes, and that's okay. We are learning. It's a learning experience, and I feel that, like, at least for me, when I made the conscious choice of quitting is not an option, that it really took that pressure off of me, and it really gave me that freedom to, okay, I'm going to have bad days, and it's okay. We move on, and we learn, and we grow. And I really encourage everybody who gets started to do that, and not have like be so hard on themselves, and decide, you know, tell yourself that I decide right now that no matter what roadblocks I encounter, because we all do, no matter who tells me no, because we will, you know, somebody will be telling us no all throughout our career with it works, and that's okay. And no matter who tells us that it's a pyramid scheme and it doesn't work, you know, because we're going to hear that too. So you have to make a conscious choice that regardless of all of that you're going to encounter, you're going to continue, and really not let any of that deter you. You're going to get up again the next day. You're going to do everything that you know you need to do, and you're going to continue to grow stronger every day, right? So we all hear about our why. My why is my kids. I have 4 kids, and I decided to take this leap of faith to join this company because of them, because they deserve for me to give them nice memories and, you know, be able to do nice things with them, things that I couldn't do before. And it also helped, I didn't realize it, but I was missing something because I was home with them all day, all the time. And this has really helped to fulfill that. It has made me feel like a well-rounded person again. I'm a stay-at-home mom, not a stuck-at-home mom. Denise told me that one time, and it just was like, that's exactly what it was. I was becoming a stuck-at-home mom, not just a stay-at-home. But now I'm both. Now I'm happy, and that's why I love this company. And so it's really important to figure out what your strong why is, because that's what's going to get you through the rough days. We all have rough days. We all have moments where we don't, where we are down, and that's normal. And that would happen at any job, not just here. That would happen at any job that you select, whether it's working at McDonald's or whether it's corporate America, or no matter what. But, we all have our reasons why we have to continue to go. And that's something that's very important to figure out and really have in the forefront of your mind always, every day. That's that makes you keep going. So I just want to, remind you guys that this is a business that you started. It's not just something, that is, I don't know, it is a business. It's a formal business. Maybe it's not a brick and mortar business, but it is a business. So you have to give it time. Remember that businesses take time. It takes 3 to 5 years. And the reason why I even bring that up is because I know that a lot of times we see all these top distributors and they're like rock stars and they reach ambassador in a year, and and we kind of have these unrealistic expectations, you can say, and we feel bad when we don't do that. And that is extraordinary, but that's not really the norm. And if you look at any business, it takes time to grow. It takes like 3 to 5 years. Give yourself that time. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself the time to reach those levels, and don't be so hard on yourself. If you have a bad day, you know what? You have a bad day. You get up the next day and you continue to go. And for me, when I realized, like, you know what? I'm not on a time schedule. I don't have to stress myself out if I don't reach whatever, goal I want within a year. It really helped me to be patient. And if I have a bad day, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Out of 3 or 5 years, 1 bad day, it's not a big deal. So just remember that and be patient with yourself. I know it gave me that sense of relief. But don't compare yourself to others. We should really only be comparing ourselves to ourselves. And this is kind of what I do. I look at what I'm doing today. Is it better than what I did yesterday? And if it's not, then hey, I got to get my butt going, right? And that's how I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to not focus on what other people are doing, because even though you might think, oh, I'm going to see what they're doing, I'm going to compare myself. In reality, that all that does is hold you back, because you're trying to figure out what they're doing instead of just doing what works for you. Okay? That's something that really helped me. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna, if yesterday I called 5 people, today I'm gonna call 6. And before you know it, you're calling 10 people a day. And before you know it, you're adding people to your group every day, to your team every day. And I feel like doing things that way, one step at a time, versus trying to do everything all at once, it kind of makes it doable, and it doesn't overwhelm us, me. That's how I felt. So I have to take notes, or else I'll go all over the place. So I wrote notes so that I know what I wanna share with you guys. And I want to also touch about, sorry, I do everything with them. You will see that no matter what I'm doing, they're around. I can't escape them, so they are here. Okay, go.
Hey, Mama.
Okay, go. And then,
I need to
can you please go? Okay, no.
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
Okay, so I know this company is growing so fast. When I first began just a year ago, there's a huge amount of growth just within this year. And a lot of times when we sign up, luckily us, we didn't have that, right? We didn't have that problem because we're the person we signed up with. She's awesome. She knows what she's doing. She's a pro at this. She's been doing this for a long time. But I figured that if there's people here who just signed up with somebody new, and maybe their upline, their enroller doesn't, is new and doesn't know as much as Denise, that's a good, it's a good time to reach out to your upline. It's not just, them. There are lots of people who are above them who are more than happy and willing to help. And that is something that I personally do with my team. I really reach out to all of the new enrollees, even the people who I enrolled. I try to make sure to take them and work with them and try to walk them through because it is one team, one mission, right? But don't be afraid. That's mainly my main thing. Don't be afraid to reach out to other people. Don't be afraid to reach up to your, upline, even if you don't know them. We're all here to help, and everybody, it's very nice. I've reached out to other people just to get different ideas, and they're really helpful. Everybody's really helpful. I thought I got rid of them for a while. I'm sorry. They're supposed to be outside. But let me see, where was I? Okay, so what I teach my team is to obviously add people to your Facebook every day. We have to do that every single day. Sometimes there's days where I forget, and the next day I make sure. The next day I make sure to add extra people. If I couldn't add them, then I make sure that I do that. I have to do that, and that is something very important. It's useless to keep posting every day to the same eyeballs. We have to get new eyeballs on our pages to see our posts. And every time I go out, I teach my team, you don't have to, it's hard if you're trying to give time to it works. It's easier if you work your it works into your everyday life. And that's what I teach my team. When you go out to the bank, blitz. When you go out to the grocery store, blitz. Every time you go out, make it a point to blitz. You don't have to go specifically out only to blitz. I feel like that makes it a lot harder. And I always encourage my team to start off with the people who are easy to blitz. And that's people who are paid to be nice to you. What is a cashier going to tell you? No. They never say no because they're paid to be nice to you. They are paid to be helpful. So that's a good way to get comfortable with it. That's how I started. And now I'm growing out of that. I'm growing beyond that comfort zone. Thank goodness. It took me a year, but I'm getting there. And, that's all. It's all things that we have to do to get where we want to be. Okay, and I have started asking for the phone number. I do use the line. Hey, can I get your phone number real quick? I'll enter you automatically into a weekly drawing, and then that way I have the contact information. Or I use the Facebook. Always I'm trying to do that consistently every single time because I've realized that even if I blitz, if I don't have some sort of contact information, in actuality, it's a failed blitz, right? Because anything can happen to that card. It can be lost, the husband can throw it away, they can forget about it, it can end up anywhere. So I always try to do that. And I know it's scary, but it makes it all worthwhile because you have all those many new people on your Facebook. Okay. Now something that I really, and I know it's been an issue kind of with our company lately, but I really do try to teach my team about it, is to build a relationship first. Go on Facebook, we get the contact information, we have them on Facebook, or we have them doing a text, for the phone numbers, we can text. And especially on Facebook, I always try to tell them to build the relationship. It's not just, okay, I have you on Facebook and now I'm gonna, spam you. No, you have to add them to Facebook, take a few days, start liking and commenting on their posts. I do, whenever I see something interesting in their Facebook, I do message them, private message them, and not about the business. I like a friend. I ask questions about what's going on. I try to build that relationship with them. Okay, we should not just be like asking them, hey, you want a product? Hey, you want this? And I'm sure we all hear it all the time, but I know there's new people and that haven't heard that. And even people on my team who have been hearing me say this for the last year, some of them are barely picking up on that. And so I just wanted to make sure that I brought that up because it's something very, very important. It's kind of like, I feel like if you mess up that relationship, that bridge, then it's hard to repair and it's hard to come back from that. So what I always suggest is, like I said, start to like and comment, message them about things that are interesting. Like I have some photographers on there, and when I see nice pictures, I privately message them and I say, I really like your work. Where did you go to take the pictures? Things like that. That way they start to recognize your name, and that way they start acknowledging you as a friend and not just like, oh,
Okay.
works crazy girl. And so I always look for a reason to even approach them about the products or about the business. I always look for what do they love, if they're into health foods and stuff like that. Then I feel like I have a genuine bridge to have a conversation with them. If they hate something, like, you know, something they're complaining about, then you have that connection. And or if it's something that they need, that they're saying that they need, if they're saying they're tired. But I don't, and then I'll bring it up. But I don't just bring it up just out of the blue. I make sure I've built the relationship. And if you don't know what they need, what they hate, what they could use, then you haven't let that relationship grow long enough. You haven't established that connection, and it's not the right time. You have to just wait. And you'll know once you actually know their needs, then that's the time to kind of bring it up. But make sure that you build the relationship first. And it's so important, because then they won't be receptive to that. And so I wanted to bring Erica. She's on my team, and she recently learned this, and I thought it was really helpful because what she's experienced, you know, has brought it back to me. I realized that maybe I wasn't explaining it well enough, or I wasn't demonstrating it well enough to my team. I had kind of just assumed that they knew what I was talking about. But
Nobody's here. We're on our own for dinner. Do you want to go get us something?
And
What do you think?
so I want her to come on here. Erica, are you on there? Where are you at? How do I find
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, so I'm going to mute myself, and you go ahead and tell us about your.
Okay.
This is Erica, by
I'm nervous.
the way. This is
I'm
Erica.
on
She's been,
Erica.
I'll introduce you. She's been a part of my team since December, right, Erica?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she is an awesome lady. She is a cancer survivor, and she joined us originally to just try the greens, but she loves the company, and she loves what it stands for, and I love having her on my team. She's actually become like one of my best friends now, so I'm really happy. Okay, you go ahead.
Hi, everybody. My name is Erica, and a lesson I learned was about making friendships on here. And give me a second. I am so sorry. I'm like on Zoom on my phone also, and I can hear myself. Okay. And so, anyways, I'm sorry. I recently talked to a team member from another team. This is what I love about this company, is that we're all one team, even though we may not be on the same team. And so she had told me that there's times she'll be wearing her shirt at the store, her It Works shirt, and people will run from her.
Ow!
And she says that when they do that, she realizes that someone's probably hounded them before. And so she'll go up to them and say, I'm sorry for somebody that, you know, I'm sorry if somebody has done this to you. And she kind of calms them down. So to me, I actually made a friend on Facebook. I've been adding people all the time, like I've been told. And this one girl says, oh, I really want to do the gastric bypass. And immediately I went to her, I messaged her, and I'm like, you know what? I'm part of It Works. Would you like to try the products? And she goes, I've been asked before, I'm not interested, thanks. And I was like, all right, you know. And then one day she wrote and said, gosh, I keep getting headaches. And so I wrote her, and I literally said, I don't mean to throw this at you, but, you know, we have this great product. And she never responded. And so I started being friends with her. Like, I didn't want to lose a friendship either, because she's a really cool person. And then I started asking her, I started messaging her about other stuff, you know, how's your day, blah, blah, blah. And then I took that other distributor's advice. And I said to her, you know, I go, just hear me out, a couple of things. And she goes, okay. And I go, I want to apologize for me coming at you the way I did with about It Works. I said, you know, even though I've been in the business for a minute, I go, I still don't know how to approach people, and I am sorry for that. And she goes, oh, I did Herbalife and I never did that to people. And I said, I'm really sorry. And then I said, you know what? I go, I just don't like seeing people in pain. I go, I've been in pain. I know what it's like to go through a lot of things. And my main focus is to help people out. I go, I know the wraps are like wonderful. I go, but the greens are something I like to promote. And I said, I would love to send you a sample. And a free sample. And she goes, what do you mean by free? And I was like, free, like free. And so we've just been talking. So I sent her the sample yesterday, and believe it or not, she's in Texas. I'm getting ready this morning. She writes me, she goes, my mom wants to know about this. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I was so amazed that I ruined something that would have been awesome, but I corrected it. And it may not work like this every time, but it's like I learned a valuable lesson that I feel like I had to go through that to realize what I was doing wrong. And it's great. Like I emailed her information. I mean, like she's like being really cool, and I'm just like amazed that I may be able to help somebody else out. That's my goal.
That's not mine. I got it wrong. You got off the other way.
That's it.
Posting your famous flowers fries and you need money? You need my credit card? Would it work?
Hey, y'all, hello. I'm back.
I want the fries, but then I went.
Peachy Macias, can you mute yourself, please?
Mm-hmm.
Mute yourself, please, PT. Patricia. That's my mom.
Oh, it's my turn. It's my turn.
Okay. Yes, we can hear you. Okay.
No.
Well, wait 1 second. Hold on. Mute yourself for a second so we
Stop.
can hear your whole conversation.
Stop.
Okay, so I do love that what Erica learned, and I feel like that's really helpful for all of us, because this is you hear it said all the time, belly to belly business, and that's what that means. It means you have personal relationships with these people. It's not just like when you work at Walmart and they come in, give you what they want, and that's it. You never see them again. No, these are people that you're helping to better their lives. You're helping one way or another. Either you're helping with the business, or you're helping with the products, but you're helping them. And there is a relationship, and it has to be formed, and you have to let the relationship mature and form before you kind of jump on them. And I feel like Erica, in her experience, really shows that. And, I hope you guys could see that too. So I have this. So that brings me kind of to being thoughtful. On Facebook, I try to be thoughtful. I know sometimes when I get a little lazy or run out of time, I'm not quite as thoughtful, and so I'll just start kind of posting all these before and afters. But I've even seen it on my own page, my own Facebook, that doesn't really get me results. That kind of just fills my Facebook, and it makes me feel like I did my job, but it doesn't give me the results that I want. So I've realized that being thoughtful when I'm posting, being thoughtful when I approach people, it gives me way better results. It takes a little bit more effort and a little bit more time, but it's definitely worth it. And what I mean by being thoughtful is stop thinking about, okay, I need this distributor, or I need these loyal customers. Yes, we need them. Obviously, we're in business. But the way we're going to get them is when we shift our thoughts to, how can I help them? How can I help them feel better, do better, look better? That's how we have to approach things. And when I'm posting on Facebook, that's kind of what I try to do. Like, how did I feel when I joined? How did I feel before? Physically even. Lately, recently, I finally got over my fear of posting my before and afters, because I really did not want like my whole gut on there. But I kind of just came to terms, and it was actually while talking with Denise, that's a step I have to take eventually. I have to share those eventually, and I might as well just do it. Those are what's gonna help my people see that I do use the products, that they do work. Not only can they confirm that, but they can also hopefully trust me a little bit more. And it has worked. Lately, I've been using them a lot, like at the vendor shows that I've been going to, and a lot of people have purchased wraps from me just because they see my pictures. So, don't be afraid to put yourself out there a little bit. Don't be afraid to think and think about them and think how you can help them. What would make them feel more comfortable with you? What would make them have a connection with you? And that's what I mean by being thoughtful with your posts. Yeah, because nobody likes to be sold to, nobody wants to feel like you don't really care about them. You just care about making the sale. Nobody likes that. And that kind of keeps people away. Like Erica said, that lady that she's talking to right now, she went from being totally closed to it and even kind of upset because she even brought it up to now they're talking on a regular basis. And now she's open to trying the greens. And she even talked to her mom about it, So it took a little bit more effort on Erica's part, but look at the difference. It's worth it, right? And you never know. She could, if she's talking to her mom about it, maybe she'll be a distributor. Maybe she'll love it so much she'll become a distributor. Who knows? We never know what the future will bring. But the point is that if we're not thoughtful in the way we approach people and what we post and how we work our business, we're not going to be able to move to that next level. People are not going to be receptive to us. And part of being thoughtful is the verbiage that we use. And I've had to learn, and I've watched a lot of videos to try to learn it, but I've had to learn that we can't just go, hey, you want to buy it, You have little words that we tweak make a big difference. Like, whereas before I would say, do you want to buy it? Do you want me to help you place your order? And even though it's not really a bad word, but as soon as I made the change to, would you like to try the wraps? Would you like me to help you place your order? Little things like that. And so that has really made a big difference. And I want to introduce my mother, Patricia. She had a harder time learning this. We've been working on it, but she's getting it down, and she definitely sees a difference now in the responses she's getting just from tweaking little words. And she's going to go ahead and give you her experience.
Hi there, I'm Patricia Tostado, and I'm started at Works about a year ago, and I'm really excited about my future with It Works. I know that it's going to help me retire early and spend more time with my grandchildren and travel and have fun. And I especially love meeting all these different types of people. And I wanted to talk to you about the verbiage. I'm one of those that just keeps on talking and talking and talking, and they always tell you not to throw up on them. And even though it's through Facebook and it's just a message, I still did it. Because I'm a writer, so I like to write. But now that I stopped doing that and just been more considerate to their needs, I asked them if they will be interested in trying it, and the verbiage is very important. So yes, I see a little bit better results. I always do a sentence, hey, we like to try it, and I put a little smile, but I end with a question. And that way they direct the conversation, they direct what they really want to know, because each person wants to know something different about the product. Some of them want to know what's in the ingredients, and then you give them the information where they can locate that. Others want to know about the payment and how it works. The retail price, the loyal customer, you give them all those answers as they go asking you. And yes, you have to be patient and listen to them. Listen to what they are trying to achieve. And that's how you become friends with them. So those are my 2 cents in the verbiage, tweaking it. And also on the post, do it more like a friend. Hey, you have problems sleeping, the relief will be great for you. And contact me. I'll be happy to help you and put a post that kind of relates to that, not just the product. That's it.
Okay. So yeah, so like what she was saying, I know my mom, that's my mom. she was the ones that wanted to just tell them everything she knew because she would be excited, and we know we can't do that, right? We have to just be patient and let them ask the questions, let them ask us what they want to know. And that's what she was saying about the post is, you know, we don't need to worry about using the corporate pictures. They do a great job in branding the company. We need to make it personal. We need to, I made her do it. She didn't want to do it, but she's getting pretty good responses. She's using her own pictures with her using the products now, and that's really helping her. She even did one with the facial, and she was pretty upset with me because I made her do it, but it was worth it. So, you know, we each have to push ourselves a little bit each day beyond our comfort zone, right? And she's learned it, so I'm very proud of her. Also, like the little things that I would suggest, like she said, always try to end with a question, you know, even if it's a little silly, sometimes you feel silly, but you continue to get that conversation going. If you don't let it just die out. That helps. And my favorite questions are like, would you like to try the wraps? Would you like me to help you place your order? Would you be open to learning more about the product or the business opportunity? It seems like they are very receptive to those types of words versus like, do you want to, or, you know, it's saying the same exact thing, just one, they are more receptive. Can you stop? Thank you. One is they are more receptive of it. Can you go over there, please? Go over there. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. I'm going to post a couple of things that Denise gave me in the chat. And these are, let me see, these are like scripts you can use. And these are very helpful. I used them especially when I was first starting and I didn't really know what to say. And this helped me. You know, you kind of, now remember, these are just scripts. They're not what you, if you're on the phone or if you're going to message them, I don't like to use them verbatim because if you've seen other It Works distributors, I don't want them to be getting the exact same message. So that kind of brings me back to being, thoughtful. You know, you don't want to just copy and paste in the exact same message to everybody. Try to be, to think about, you know, the personal things that you know about them and include that in there. Tweak it a little bit, make it personal, make it, make them know that, you know, it is something, let me see, how can I say it? Just make them feel like there's not just cookie cutter, like you don't care and you're just sending the same thing to everybody, okay? So, yeah, those are the things. Okay. These kiddos. Okay. So I'm gonna I just want to suggest that you guys realize that, you know, this is your business, so you need to work it, and you guys need to give your business priority and make it a priority in your life, and dedicate time to it. Set aside the time. Things that I find are helpful for me is, like you guys have probably heard a lot of times, a lot of people, you know, Dorothy, I've heard her say a lot this, talk about this several times, Sandra, you know, a lot of people about making time, setting the time to do it. I feel like once you know when you're going to be working on your business, you know that's the time for that. So you just do it versus kind of leaving it up in the air and like, oh, whenever I get time. Well, you know what? Something's going to come up and you're not going to have the time. So you really have to make it a priority in your life and set the time aside where you know you're going to be doing that. And that's something that has really helped me. Like for myself, I know in the mornings after I drop off the boys, I usually have an hour before my daughter wakes up, and it just depends. I set that aside. I either, if I'm gonna use that time to do a workout, then I'm definitely listening to personal development. Or if not, then I'm definitely following up with people. And I just know that that's the time for me to focus on my business. I try to do that again at night. I try to do that. Go ask them please to serve you and tell them I said so. I try to do it again at night or in the middle of the day, like right before I pick up the boys. I'll let my daughter use my phone, or if I can put her to watch a movie. and then I take advantage and I do it then as well. So I try to do it a couple times a day, and I can't do big chunks, so I have to really do like 1 hour chunks, sometimes even less, but I really just squeeze it in as much as I can. And I definitely, though, every day have some personal development. And most of the time it's while I'm driving around. I have my headset, and instead of listening to the radio, I don't do that anymore. I will put on a YouTube video or Periscope or whatever I'm trying to get in at that time, and really just get that in, soak that in. Because I find that when I get worked up and pumped up from those videos, that I can then bring that to my group, to my team, and hopefully help them as well. I do definitely post every day. No matter what's going on, I post every day, at least 3 to 6 times. The days that I'm out and about, like I'm doing a vendor show or something, then I might not post the full 6 times, but at least 3 times every day. And every day also, I try to like and comment. You know, these are my things that I make sure I do every day on my list. Every time I go out, I have made it a rule for myself. Every time I go out of this house to, you know, other than to pick up my kids, because sometimes I don't see anybody that I haven't already seen. But if I go to the store, anywhere I go, I make sure that I am blitzing. So, you know, these are rules you have to make for yourself. Oh, and the last thing is that I always plug in to whatever trainings, whatever Zooms are going on, whatever calls, because even though I'm usually out and about or doing something with the kids, that's why I'm so grateful for my headset. You know, I can be wherever I'm at and still be plugged in with my headset. 1 second, okay?
¿Colgó? ¿Estás marcando?
Okay, I'm so sorry. These kids, I thought they were going to be outside for a while. But you know, we roll with it. That's the beauty about this being your business. You kind of just go with it. And so, a tip that I want to give you guys, you know, because we all get nervous. I get nervous blitzing sometimes. I get nervous when I get a Zoom like this. I get nervous all the time, and it's normal, and it's okay. You know, we don't let that stop us. And something that I have realized that to help me a lot with that is I practice. I practice what I'm going to say, because that's why we're nervous. That's why we get scared, because it's something new, something we're not used to. This is something that I suggest to my group. Do things in front of the mirror. Look at yourself. See how you look. See how you know. Listen to how you sound. Record yourself. You know, that's something that has been very useful in my group. To record yourselves while you're practicing the blitz, while you're practicing your party presentation, and then you can really see yourselves. Then you can really see yourselves how you these kids. See yourself how you look and what you need to improve on, and be more comfortable with it. That has helped me tremendously. That's why I write notes, you know. Being nervous and being scared is not a reason to stop us from accomplishing what we want. And that's kind of a decision I made, and it might be silly, but I do write my notes, and I do think about what I want to say and how I want to say it. And that's what it works for me. So just practice and believe. Let me see, I think somebody wrote something in the chat. I didn't quite catch it. Okay. So from Betty, can you share some verbiage you use when talking to a loyal customer and a distributor? Okay. So like when I'm approaching them after they've liked the post, I'm assuming is what you're kind of asking me. So after somebody has liked my post, I always thank them. And if it's somebody I know that I see things on Facebook, like what they're saying or doing, then I say, hey, thank you for liking my post. I really like that picture of your daughter, or whatever, whatever comes to my mind. And then I say, would you be interested in making money from your phone? Or have you ever given thought to making extra money from your phone? And that's kind of something what I ask them to lead me for a new distributor. And it's kind of the same thing for a new loyal customer. I ask them, have you considered, would you like to try the wrap or whatever, you know? But I always say thank you. And if I know things that they've been posting recently on Facebook, because, you know, we're building that relationship, then I just change loyal customer for distributor, make it fit. It says, do you always say from your phone? I usually do, because I do everything from my phone, but or from home. Sometimes I change it from home, but usually it's from your phone, and mainly just because I feel like most people are on their phone like all the time, so it's something that they can relate to. But yeah, usually it's one of the two. Did that answer? I hope that helped. Now after they asked me, you know, so the hard one is when I'm asking them about being a distributor, have they considered being a distributor? And then they ask me, well, what do you mean? What do you do? What kind of job or something like that? Then I say, oh, it's super easy. It's easy work. You know, from your phone, you get to use these amazing products and just share with your family and friends and on Facebook or, you know, with people you know. And then that's really it. I don't go into everything. I let them always guide the conversation, because I don't want to, you know, throw up on them everything that I know about the company. I don't want to scare them. I don't want to overwhelm them. So I always let them ask me what they want to know. And then I go from there. I don't tell them more than that. I hope that was helpful. And you know, you just have to really, I think what stops a lot of people from being successful in this business, I've seen it, is that they don't believe in this business like themselves. They don't believe in the products. They don't use them. They don't believe in them. I'm so sorry. I have a comedian over here. But that is something that you really have to learn to love this business and these products. And when you approach somebody, especially if it's in person, even through a text, you have to try to convey that. And I always, let me see, you have to try to convey that. It says, can you share how you close a loyal, can you share how you close a loyal customer and distributor? How I close them? Well, when a distributor is kind of giving me the runaround, you know, you have to be patient, because most of the time, you have to understand that. Most of the time, they will not be ready to sign up right away. It's very rare. I think in the whole year that I've been doing this, including my mother, mind you, okay, and my family, it's taken a couple of times bringing it up for them to finally say, okay, I'm going to try it. So usually when they've been giving me the runaround, I do tell them, hey, if I know they were interested, I tell them, oh, I'm so excited to get to work with you. You always want to assume that they're going to sign up with you. Even if they haven't flat out said yes, you just assume it, and you kind of get them thinking it and believing it and kind of seeing it, okay? So your conversations should always have that. Oh, I can't wait till you sign up, till you get started. We're going to work together. It's going to be so much fun. And then I end with a question. I follow my own rules. So are you ready to get started? So do you want me to help you get started? You know, just whatever rolls off the tongue at that moment. But that's what I usually tell them. If they've been giving me the runaround for a while, I tell them, you know, I know you would be amazing at this. You have so many friends. You're so, you know, whatever compliments I genuinely feel, okay, because that's the word, genuine. I'm not going to tell somebody, oh, you're so beautiful and you'd be great at this, if I don't really believe that, because I don't want to put myself in that kind of situation where I feel like I'm lying to people. So I do make sure I'm giving them genuine compliments and tell them that, you know, I look forward to working with them, and what's holding you back? You have nothing to lose, you know. And usually I leave it at that, and usually that gets them to respond. And it kind of makes them think, because a lot of times they're just scared. They've never done something like this, you know, and that gets them to at least respond and tell me what their fears are, and then we can address them. Like if their fears are, well, I don't know anybody. Well, guess what? You don't have to know anybody. When I started, I didn't even use Facebook. I had just gotten on. I had like just my family, and I posted a couple pictures ever of my kids for my family to see. I didn't know what I was doing, but we can learn it. And Facebook, the beauty with this business and Facebook and all the social media, you have like how many people in this world? I think it's like 7 billion or something like that. that you can reach out to. You can make
Million.
you can make friends, okay? So that's how we address each one of their fears, whatever it is that they have. And sometimes just saying, what do you have to lose? They realize there's really nothing to lose, because then they'll ask you, well, are there quotas? Well, are there, you know, fees or anything like that? And once they realize that it's really not that big of a deal, you know, the worst thing that could happen is that you bought a box of wraps for $99. A lot of times that takes the pressure off of them. And they're like, oh, okay, maybe I can give this a shot. So that's what happens with distributors. And with loyal customers, I feel like you just kind of have to work through their timing. Stop it. You can't do that right now because you're upsetting my internet, okay? I'm almost done. So, and this is what I'm doing. I'm dealing with these kids while I'm talking to distributors and loyal customers. So I know that if I can do it with my crazy circus house I have over here, anybody can do it, okay? And so with loyal customers, I feel like if you've already answered all their questions and they're just not ready, you just kind of have to keep following up, You know, I make sure to follow up. Like, it depends. If I've been talking to them a lot lately, I'll give them time. I'll give them time to you know, to kind of feel like I'm not bothering them, I guess is the word. But when I follow up, I make sure it's not only about the business. When I'm following up, I'm trying to make sure that I'm up to date with what they're doing on Facebook, and I'm commenting on something like that, like, you know, complimenting or asking questions, whatever. You just basically, the whole purpose of following up is to be constantly in their forethought, you know, in the forefront of their mind, for whenever they are ready, they know who to come. You don't want to get how do we say it? You don't want to get them warmed up, and then all of a sudden when they're ready, you're not around and they don't remember your name and they don't remember where to find you, and they go with the first person that they found after you've already done all the work. So that's kind of that. You just keep following up until they're ready. There was a couple of questions I said. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad that helps. Okay, so she says, when somebody likes your post, do you immediately approach them about the products or business, or do you establish a connection first? Good question. So, like, if it's somebody that I haven't already established a connection with, then I do make sure that I at least go to their page and like and comment on a couple of things, and then I'll approach them. But if it's somebody that I've already been talking to a couple times about other stuff, then I go ahead and approach them. Okay. So I think I answered those questions. If you have any more, feel free to ask. Let me see. So my other little tips is, we were talking about loving the products and the business, right? And the reason why I think that's important is because I feel like people can tell. People can tell if you really genuinely believe in what you're posting and what you're saying. And if they don't feel that you believe in it, then why would they? You know, you have to, let me see. Okay, this is from Tammy. It says, thank you, Tammy. I know you do a lot of events. Any tips on how to engage people on the spot? Yeah, you do not stand behind the table. That's the first thing I learned. You do not stand behind the table. I have the dry wrap, and I am like about, I would say 2 to 3 feet in front of the table. And everybody who walks through that little section, I have the wrap up like this, and I'm like, have you heard of that crazy wrap? Have you heard of it? Works. And then I kind of judge, because if I feel that the wrap draws them in, then we continue to talk about the wrap. If they're kind of looking at me like you're crazy, especially like you know, thin people or people who feel they don't need it, like, why am I approaching them with that? That's enough to kind of catch their attention. And then I also let them know, well, you know, It Works is not just wraps. We have over 30 products. We are a very serious, I always use the word serious for some reason, because I feel like it kind of makes them understand that we're not just like this kooky business. I don't know. It's worked for me. Maybe it'll work for you. So I tell them, you know, we are a serious business company. We're a serious company. a health and wellness company. We have these amazing greens. These are actually my number one product that I love and I use every day. And I go into that because I figure that's a safe product that really anybody, any fitness level, any age, any lifestyle can benefit from and actually needs, right? So that's what I kind of lead into. And I always have my catalogs there and I'm kind of showing them, and sometimes things will catch their eye and they'll ask me about it. And yeah, we had, last Saturday, I think we're getting better. Everything is trial and error, and you have to allow yourself that wiggle room, okay? You can't be hard on yourself. The first vendor show we went to, we didn't do that great, but we didn't know what we were doing, and that's okay. That's what this is for. You learn, you learn as you go. And so now the last vendor show that we did, I think it was our third or fourth one, and we did a lot better. We got one lady to sign up right there on the spot as a loyal customer, and we sold a total of 4 wraps there, and we got a lot of names. We got a couple of people interested in parties. So, you just have to let yourself, give yourself the freedom to fail and learn from it and just keep going, okay? Yes, Mama. 1 second. You want to eat? Okay, put my phone to charge. See, that's how she was quiet. She was on my phone, and now she killed the battery, so she put it to charge. No problem. You're welcome. I'm glad that helped. Okay, so it says, do you have any tips for blitzing people while just out and about? I don't. What happened? Okay.
I love you.
So I don't. You're welcome. Okay. Go tell Papa to use your tablet. Hey. I don't just walk up to people. I feel really weird and uncomfortable, and I feel like if I feel uncomfortable, I'm gonna make them feel uncomfortable. So I only blitz people that I'm already talking to. Like yesterday we were at Costco. I'll give this example because it's probably as out as I go. But I ran into this lady about 3 times. She's just another shopper at Costco. And, she had smiled at me a couple times. The last time we were in line and she was kind of asking me a question about one of the...
I'm on the phone right now. I'm on a car with it.
And so finally, after running into her 3 times, I had my blitz card out and I said, okay, if I see her again, cross my path right now when we walk out, I'm going to give her the blitz card. And so when she crossed my path, I just said, hey, we keep crossing paths, and I'm thinking it's for a reason. And I just really think you're such a, and I did say beautiful because she was a beautiful person. And so I think you're just a beautiful person with a beautiful smile. And this is my company. I have a health and wellness company. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people like you who are friendly and who are approachable and who I think I would like to work with. And I said, would you be interested? And she said, yeah. And so she kind of asked me a little bit about it. And so I added her on my Facebook. But, she didn't sign up right then and there. And so that's something that we have to learn to expect, that we have to give them the time. And that's something that I'm glad I picked up at the very beginning, that most people take anywhere between 7 to 21 times of being exposed to the same thing before they decide to actually buy or join. So you just have to give them time. Time is your friend, okay?
It was their marriage, their wedding day.
Okay.
They were taking photos.
So I'm just about done. My last little tips that I think are very helpful. If you're not careful in this business, when you're constantly running into Debbie Downer, let them, they will bring you down. So a couple of things that I do to make sure that I don't let that happen to me is I surround myself with like-minded people. If people are negative and don't believe in this, I do not let them into my circle. I do not let them affect me. And like Denise always says, and I really took this to heart when I heard her say this, you have to become a professional ignorer. And that doesn't mean that you just erase them and forget about them, because you never know. Maybe with time they'll come around and maybe they'll be your best, your rock star. You never know. So you don't want to be rude and like cut them off, but you just want to put up barriers so that they can't affect you. They can't affect your thought process. They can't affect your mood. They can't affect your their ambition, I guess is the word. So I really am careful about who the people that I'm letting me affect that. And
You were
and Denise is right. You have to focus on only what you want. If you focus on what everybody else is doing, if you focus on what's going wrong, if you focus on, you know, all these things, you will not focus on what you want. All the doors, sorry.
Yeah.
But anyways, you will not get what you want if you don't focus on that. You have to really have your eyes on that at all times. And remember that regardless of what's happening or what's crashing down around you, that's what you have to stay working towards. Okay? So I did post the things, the verbiage that Denise asked. Okay. And you did it all by yourself. Good girl. And I highly suggest, I know it's scary, but I highly suggest getting on the phone with people. Even if you use the verbiage scripts that I posted, I really, really suggest getting on the phone with people for a couple of reasons. I know it's scary, and I know that I had a hard time doing it, but you know, I kind of just made myself do it, and now it's so much easier than all these textings. And you know, not only can things get misinterpreted or you know not understood, but when you're on the phone with them, it's harder for people to tell you no. First of all, you know, in a text they can ignore you, in a text they cannot answer, in a text they can just you know forget about you. But when you have them on the phone, I need you to turn that off, please, okay? When you have them on the phone, it's harder for them to tell you no. It's harder for them to ignore you. They pay a little bit more attention to you. And they can hear the excitement in your voice. Where in a text, you work hard, you really have to make sure that you do that. But if they're doing it in listening to you on the phone, then they can hear it. They can hear your love for the product. They can hear your love for your business, and it does a lot of the work for you. It does a lot of the convincing for you if they can hear that in your voice. And it's also easier to just answer the call for me, for myself. You know, I can kind of hear if they're doubtful, what they might need answer, what I need to answer, what direction, what approach. You know, you're guessing. Really, that's what it is. You're guessing. So, if there's anything that you take away from this,
for him right now, until he gets seniority and he can get a.
You know, I'm barely learning all of this as well. So I hope I have been some help. But the main thing is that be patient with yourself and take quitting off the table. Regardless of what happens, whatever highs and lows come, take quitting off the table. And know that no matter what, you're going to get up the next day. It's going to be a new day, and you have a new opportunity to do right. Whatever you think happened wrong the day before, you have the opportunity to do right the next day.
If you get a chance to change it up a little bit, you take it.
Yeah. Okay. And just be patient with yourself. You know, do the work, make your list, things that you know you need to do. And I have another distributor on my team. She was just telling me this morning, the things that she thinks are most important, she does first thing in the morning, because that way she knows that she did it. If during the rest of the day she's busy at work and doesn't get to do them, but at least she knows she got that done. And so she feels good. Turn that off, please. Anyways, she knows she got it done, and then she feels good about herself. She knows that she did something for her business that was useful. And maybe that's a really good tip, you know, for yourself, to do the important things first, and that way you know you got that done and out of the way. Do you guys have any other questions? It says, can you provide the link to your recording so I can share your tips with my team? Yeah, as soon as I get that, I'm not sure, but I think Denise will have it and she will share it, I believe. Can you please turn that off? You see, I have a crazy house. I have crazy kids who don't let me do things in peace, but I make it work, and so can you. Whatever the problem is, maybe that's something I should have mentioned. Whatever you feel are your roadblocks, find a solution and work with them, you know? If you work with them, it's easier to get what you need to do done. No problem, Betty. Thank you guys so much. Do you guys have any final questions? I think it's been about an hour. What time is it, Christian?
I don't know what time is it.
I can't see the clock from here in the beginning. But yeah, it's about an hour, I believe. If I kept you longer than that, I'm sorry. I hope it was helpful. Did you guys?
7:06.
Oh, okay, so it's perfect. A perfect hour. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks. I hope it helped. Then I wish you guys a good night, and I know that we are all a team of rock stars, and we just have to stick to it, because the only people who don't succeed in this business are the people who quit. So let's stick to it and let's continue. And I can't wait to meet a lot of you guys on the cruise. Talk to you later. Wait, I have to see how I end this. Hold on. Oh, okay. Bye, guys.
Come on. Come on.